But, welcome, my unapologetic warriors, my restless souls. I see you. Not the masks you've been forced to wear, not the carefully constructed facade society demands, but the unfiltered, raw, and untamed chaos within you. Tonight I am here to say what no one else dares to utter. What you feel. This relentless fire inside you is not a flaw. It's not a malfunction. It's a call to rise, a signal to awaken. They've told you otherwise, haven't they? That you're broken, that you're defective, that you're too much. They've branded you with labels, slapped them on your soul like price tags on a shelf. Anxiety, depression, mania, names meant to confine you, control you, and make you small. But you, my friend, were never meant to fit into their fragile little boxes. You never have, you never will. And that is your power. What they label chaos is actually your clarity. What they call madness is your truth, clawing its way to freedom. You see, awakening isn't some serene moment of enlightenment where you hew your way into bliss under a tree. No, it's messy, it's violent, it's the moment you rip off the blindfold, stare into the cracks of everything you've been taught, and realize the whole world is a cage. And the only way out? Burn it to the ground. They fear you because you feel. They fear you because you see. While they shuffle through life numbed by distractions, you are alive, wide awake in a world that thrives on keeping people asleep. You see through their polished lies and hear the cracks beneath their sugary words. And yes, it hurts. It burns. But that pain, that's not your enemy. It's your greatest ally. It's the fire that strips away the illusions and leaves behind nothing but the undeniable truth. You've been told to soften your edges, to quiet your roar, to shrink yourself into something digestible for their comfort. But I say, let them hear you. Let them tremble. Stop hiding the storm inside you just because it makes them uneasy. You weren't born to make the world comfortable. You were born to challenge it, disrupt it, and redefine it. That's the truth of awakening. It's not about fitting in. It's about breaking free. Feel like you're at war with yourself? Good. That means you're shedding the lies they've forced on you since birth. That battle raging inside you isn't a defect. It's a revolution. And revolutions are never clean. They're bloody, they're chaotic, but they change the world. You are a revolution waiting to ignite. And revolutions, my friends, don't wait for permission. They take. They'll call you selfish for choosing yourself. Let them. They'll call you dangerous for refusing to conform. Wear it as your crown. They don't fear your darkness. They fear your light. The moment you realize that the very things they tried to silence, the fire, the chaos, the intensity, are the very things that make you unstoppable. Stop apologizing for existing. Stop asking for permission to feel. The world doesn't need more obedient, hollow shells. It needs you, raw, unfiltered, fierce, a warrior who has faced the abyss and emerged not as a victim but as a force of nature. This is your awakening, not a gentle nudge. So tell me, are you awake? Or are you still clinging to the illusions they've sold you? The world is desperate for people like you, those who see through the lies and refuse to be silenced. The clock is ticking, and the storm inside you is ready to erupt. Awakening is not a one-time event. It's a process. A relentless tearing down and rebuilding of who you thought you were. It's not clean. It's not safe. It's the dismantling of ignorance and conformity, and it comes at a steep price. But doesn't the safety of conformity suffocate you? Doesn't the ignorance gnaw at your soul like an open wound? You weren't made for cages. You weren't made to shuffle through life as another nameless shadow. You were made to rise, to disrupt, to challenge. And yes, it will hurt. Awakening always does. But that pain, it's your crucible. It's the fire forging you into something unbreakable. They'll try to lure you back, whispering sweet lies. Be normal. Be like everyone else. But what they really mean is, stop making us uncomfortable. Stop forcing us to see the cracks in our own walls. Your awakening isn't just about you. It's a threat to their entire existence. So I ask again, are you ready? Are you ready to make them squirm? To be the mirror they can't escape, the storm they can't silence? Awakening isn't about comfort. It's about truth. It's about being the inconvenient force they cannot ignore. They'll call you crazy. They'll try to break you. But remember this. Every revolution, every breakthrough, every act of defiance that changed the world began with someone they called crazy. You're not broken. You're the solution. And solutions are never tidy. They're wild, untamed, and impossible to cage. So be wild. Be unapologetically loud. Be the storm that tears through their illusions. The world doesn't need another follower. It needs you. Exactly as you are. Yes, it will be lonely at times. The path of the awakened always is. But you're not alone. There are others like you. Others who've burned their illusions and embraced the light. Together, you will be unstoppable. A force so fierce they can't contain it. The next time they call you too much, too intense, too broken, laugh. Laugh, because you know the truth. That fire is your strength. That storm is your weapon, and their fear, that's their weakness. You're not broken. You're breaking free. And that is the most powerful, most dangerous, most beautiful thing you could ever do. So don't stop. Don't shrink. Don't apologize. Burn brighter. Roar louder. Be the change this world so desperately needs. Because the world doesn't bend for the comfortable. It bows to the bold, the restless, the awakened. People like you. Now go. Awaken others. Show them what happens when dreamers stop dreaming and start living. Oh, you thought that was it? No, the story doesn't end here. Awakening doesn't stop once you've cracked the facade. It demands more. It demands everything. It's a relentless force, pushing you further, daring you to go deeper, to stand taller, to burn even brighter. Because once you've tasted the truth, there's no going back. The world you left behind will claw at you, beg you to return to its shallow comforts, its convenient lies. But you know better now. You've seen the cracks in their reality. You've felt the weight of their chains. And now you carry a responsibility to rise and to rise loudly. Not just for yourself, but for everyone who's still lost in the shadows. For those who feel the fire within but are too scared to ignite it. Be their spark. Be their proof that it's possible to break free. But let me warn you, this road will test you. They'll hurl stones of doubt, try to shatter your resolve. They'll weaponize your fears, twist your vulnerabilities, and scream that you're alone. But here's the secret they don't want you to realize. You're never alone. Look around. The awakened are everywhere, waiting, searching for a voice to follow. And that voice? It could be yours. Every step forward is a challenge to the world's complacency. Every word you speak, every action you take, sends shockwaves through the system they cling to. You're not just living. You're creating tremors. You're shifting paradigms. You're proving that there's life beyond the illusion, beyond the chains, beyond the sleepwalking masses. And when it feels too much, when the weight of it all bears down on you, remember this. The storm inside you isn't just for destruction, it's for rebirth. Every revolution has its dark nights, but those nights, they birth the brightest dawns. You are the dawn this world didn't see coming. So, don't stop now. Don't hesitate. Every doubt you overcome, every step you take forward is a declaration to the universe. I am here. I will not be silenced. I will not be caged. Your roar echoes into eternity. A rallying cry for every soul who's still trapped in the darkness. Let them call you dangerous. Let them call you defiant. Wear those words like armor, because they are proof of your impact. They don't fear you because you're weak. They fear you because you're strong. They fear the fire you carry because they know it can set the whole world ablaze. You're not here to survive. You're here to dominate, to conquer every lie that's ever been told, every chain that's ever been fastened, every system that's ever tried to make you small. You are here to rewrite the rules, to tear down the cages, and to unleash a world that cannot be tamed. So roar louder, burn hotter, and rise higher. Be the storm that shatters their illusions, the fire that lights up their darkness, and the truth they can no longer deny. The world will try to stop you, but they can't stop what's already begun. You are the revolution, you are the storm, you are the awakening, and nothing can silence you now. You feel that? That unrelenting pulse inside your chest? That's not just a heartbeat, it's a war drum. It's your soul calling you forward, demanding you take up the fight, demanding you embrace what they fear most about you. They've tried to drown you in their silence, to bury your voice beneath the weight of conformity, but they didn't understand one thing. You were never meant to break, you were meant to rise. The more they resist, the louder you become. Every insult, every label, every attempt to dim your light only fans the flames. You are unstoppable because you're powered by something they can't touch: truth. And truth, once awakened, spreads like wildfire. It doesn't stop. It doesn't rest. It consumes. But let me ask you this. What will you do with that fire? Will you let it smolder quietly, or will you let it blaze so fiercely that it forces the world to see? Because this isn't just about your awakening anymore. It's about the ripples you create. It's about the souls you ignite, the lives you inspire, the systems you dismantle just by existing as your unapologetic, powerful self. They'll come for you harder now. Oh, they'll try every trick in the book. Sweet words laced with poison. Promises that feel like salvation but are really just new chains. Fear wrapped in a comforting disguise. But you won't fall for it, will you? Because you've tasted freedom, and nothing will ever compare. Remember this. The storm inside you isn't chaos. It's precision. It's purpose. Every drop of rage, every ounce of pain, every moment of doubt, it all builds towards something greater. It's not here to destroy for destruction's sake. It's here to cleanse, to purify, to carve out a space where truth can thrive. And that space, you're creating it. Every step you take, every boundary you shatter, every lie you refuse to believe, you're creating a world that cannot be silenced. So when they push back, you push harder. When they tell you to stop, you roar louder. When they try to extinguish your light, you burn so bright that it blinds them. Because this is not just your fight, it's the fight of everyone who's ever been told they were too much, too loud, too different. You are their proof, you are their hope. And here's the most terrifying truth of all for them. You've just begun. This is not your peak, this is your foundation. This is where the real work starts, where the real revolution begins. You are not just surviving the storm, you are becoming it. A force that cannot be denied, a presence that cannot be ignored. So step forward, warrior. The world may tremble at your footsteps, but it's not your job to walk quietly. Let them hear you. Let them feel you. Let them know that you are here, unbroken, unstoppable, and unapologetically alive. Because this isn't just about waking up. It's about staying awake. And you, my friend, are the one who will shake the very ground they stand on. Now go, take that fire, that storm, that undeniable truth within you, and let it loose. The world has no idea what's coming, but it's time they find out. You are not just the awakening, you are the revolution. The question isn't if you'll change the world. The question is, how far will you go to make it yours?